What's up y'all, my name is Desert Bloom Sims or Elias, and welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new here, please consider showing some support to the channel. You can leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoy the video. Any support is much appreciated. So today I'm returning to my channel's roots, and by that I mean I'm doing a townie makeover. My very first video on this channel was a townie makeover of Vanessa Zhang from the Get Famous expansion pack. But anyway, today's patients are Candy and Yuki Behr from the Get Together expansion pack. I know this pack is on the older side, but they're truly tragic in terms of look. But nonetheless, that's why we're here today. So for some background on these girlies, Candy and Yuki both originated from the spin-off series My Sims. And can I just say, they look absolutely nothing like they did in the original. My guess is that they were going for the Sims 4 as an alternate timeline idea and ran with that when making these Sims, but honestly, I've never seen a decodification this bad in I don't know how long. Moving on, Candy was known for her love of parties and making music in My Sims. Her Sims 4 iteration carried this idea over with her DJ mixing skill being at level 6, and she also has the dancing skill maxed out as well. Yuki is depicted as Candy's younger sister in The Sims 4, but they didn't have any relation in My Sims, so I honestly don't know where that came from. This was definitely a weird move on The Sims team's end because there were no hints of them being related whatsoever. In My Sims, Yuki was an alt girl with interests in anime and vampires. She also has a visibly darker skin than her Sims 4 counterpart. And fun fact, she likes to sharpen her canine teeth to appear more vampiric. So, as I said before, Yuki's skin was much darker in the My Sims series, but she appears more fair skinned in The Sims 4. The name Yuki has Japanese origins, so it's safe to assume that she's of Japanese descent, which could explain the change in The Sims 4. I was initially confused by her skin tone and implications of Japanese descent, so I considered going for something Gairu inspired. Gairu or Gengiru is a Japanese style that prominently features tanned skin, so that was sort of kind of the impression that I got with Yuki, but I couldn't quite find any gothic inspired Gairu substyles, so instead I scrapped the idea and fully leaned into something adjacent to the more western gothic aesthetic and still kept true to the My Sim skin tone. So circling back to Yuki's in-game details, her Sims 4 counterpart loses most of her prominent characterizations, like for example, she's no longer dressed alternatively, her hair was changed from black to a teal color, and she no longer shows interests in vampires or anime, which were some of her main characterizations in the My Sim series. It's honestly a bit sad seeing how badly Yuki was butchered in The Sims 4, and it honestly really makes me question their course of actions. And speaking of course of actions, I decided to lean into the idea of Candy being fully German. So if you didn't know, the world of Lindenberg is mostly based on Germany and Denmark, so I came up with the idea of Candy being German. I had no issues with her being Asian, but I wanted to further differentiate her from Yuki because the two seemed completely different to each other in My Sims, so this only made sense to me. Also, on the topic of My Sims, did you know that the BFF household and Willow Creek are also characters from My Sims? I honestly feel like this is common knowledge by now because I've seen so many videos explaining this specific lore over the years, but if this is how you found out, then congratulations. I don't really know what to say. But anyway, that's all I have to say for now. I'll leave you all with some music and come back to share my final thoughts about these Sims and their makeovers. I honestly had a really great time with giving these Sims their very much well-deserved makeovers, and I can honestly say that I can look at them now without flinching or, wondering why Candy's waist is so snatched. I did struggle a bit with finding the right hair for Yuki and also putting together Candy's outfit, and I did have to download a few more hair options for Yuki in between screen recordings, but that's really it. I also drafted a little storyline for these girlies that would explain them living together as well. This version of Candy and Yuki are both young adults, and they met online when they were both teenagers. Yuki lived in Japan, or Mount Kamarabi in this case, while Candy lived in Wittenberg. When they got older, Yuki moved in with Candy, thus explaining them living together. I also decided to give Yuki a more appropriate last name, seeing that she's of Japanese descent, so I came up with the name Yuki Kamagai. I went with this name in specific because it roughly translates into Behr Valley, well, the last name does, and I absolutely love the wordplay that's been present in the Sims franchise since its beginning. We see this with households like the Goths, the Newbies, the Pancakes, and so on. This is a little bit less obvious, but I thought it was a nice touch, so let me know what you guys think about that. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you haven't already, drop a like if you want to see more content like this, and as always, I'll see you on the next video. Bye!